I had encountered his in the 80s. He was already hanging around. I really wasn't dealing with him too much. But I had went through things, and the first time I ever went blind, um, it wasn't as bad. Then the second time I went blind, that's when I got robbed. Um, I had got robbed, okay? And a lot of other things had started happening. But to make a long story short, when it came to Diddy, he had called himself trying to like me. He had met me or whatever. And Kevin Gates kept telling everybody to tell him I was a hoe and this, that, and the other because they said he wasn't a nice guy to be trying to date anyway, you know. And I wasn't trying to date him. And he used to be always compliment how I always smell good, and used to ask me to call him and all that. And a couple of guys polo them used to be like, "Nah, man, you can't date her. You can't date her," you know, and this, that, and the other. So he came over one day to where I lived at 1255 Kansas in East St. Louis. He had some girl with him. She was pregnant by him, he said. But anyway, and I was already pregnant myself, but I wasn't like months way ahead, like do any day or anything like that. So anyway, the girl came over, she laid down, and Diddy was just around there with Shine. He was acting a fool. So he come in my bedroom, exposing his son. He want to have sex with me, and this other guy, Charles Carl, came in there, and we was laughing at him. You know, I was like, "Oh, you just acting a fool," you know, and this, that, and the other. So I had went on and laid down because me and Chris Brown, us and Rihanna, we was finna ready go to downtown St. Louis. You know, we always go to get something to eat or just hang out. It used to be downtown St. Louis. It was just a meet up place. You know, not even particularly down there on the landing, just downtown St. Louis. You know. So anyway, next thing I know, you never know who you will run into downtown St. Louis, especially for as entertainment and wrestlers and singers, and I'm talking about actors and actresses, and the list goes on and on. But anyway, let me make it short. So I was laying down. He came and poured some bleach on me, and I was mad as hell. So I was fussing at him and this, that, and other. So when he got out my room, I was taking off my pants, and then he grabbed me and threw me down on my bed, and he had ended up raping me. Charles Carl come in my bedroom, was like, "Oh, you gonna have sex with him?" And when Charles Carl looked, he seen how he had his hand. Had always tried to be slick about what he was doing, hanging around with Kevin Durant and them, hanging around with Kevin Gates, with Drake or Dre and them, and this other guy named Tory McClain. Had kind of seemed to be of a faithful worker at that time. She was just a basic assistant, like mailing stuff, putting stuff in envelopes, basic duties, um, dropping paperwork off at the courthouse, stuff like that. That was just basically it. Stuff I work. And she enjoyed doing it. And then things had got out of control when other people started coming around, and she began doing what they were saying. Okay. And Diddy was playing on her. Sean Diddy, Puffy Combs was playing on her, basically telling her to do this, do that, and at the same time he'll go like he chastising her like he her big brother or whatever he is, um, like he's doing something right, but he had already messed up. And also that woman Kim Porter, she did too. When she first came around, come to find out, she had already been around everybody. Said she asked me could she be employed by me, and all the time, that was their whole scheme in the first place to get Tory McClain out the way. We was already on to what they were doing. Chris Brown had kind of realized it too. So that's when Nipsey and them started coming back around. When Kim Porter came around, Nipsey and them kind of started coming back around because Nipsey and them and his brother and them was trying to date her. They was just being them. So anyway, make a long story short, she had stole some mail. We had tickets to go on a trip or so forth. They called, changed the name on the trip tickets. They had did a whole lot of things they shouldn't have did. And showed up places where people were not even trying to deal with Sean Diddy, Puffy Combs, his woman Kim. They basically had become bought themselves out there due to the fact of the fraud and the things that they were doing. They were basically uninvited people. Now, when it came to Jay-Z and Beyonce, Beyonce is the same person. She's the type of person, she's always inviting herself to things that's no concern of hers and was not invited at all. Now, a lot of people still dealt with Jay Z until his ignorance and his ways started showing. So it was Jay Z, Beyonce, Diddy, and Sean Puffy Combs. Well, Diddy, Sean Puffy Combs, Jay Z, and Kim Porter. That's what I meant to say. So them four right there had become havocs along with Tiny Tamika Harris. Okay, Tip and them. All of them had been dealing with each other, and also dealing with LL Cool J. Now, when it came to Diddy, I told you I had went blind. I had already started writing the book and this, that, and the other, and was doing a whole lot of other things. During that time, a lot of other things had occurred. Thefts and so forth had to do with Tori McClain. She really wasn't caring at the point because, for some odd reason, she felt that Sean Diddy Combs Puffy, he sold her dreams of foolishness. You know, to the point where is that I guess she thought she was, I don't know what she was thinking. I guess she wanted to be queen of the projects. I have no idea. Or why would she let someone, but that's her. You know, she had a job. She was filing her taxes, everything. You know. And see, then after a while, he tried to tell her to come back and apologize. He found that it was filing their taxes, people that was employed by me. He kept trying to make Kim Porter apologize. She had been stealing my clothes and all type stuff. Kamora Lee had started dealing with them, and that's a different subject, but she know I'm going to cook her too, because she knew she was wrong doing a whole ordeal. She was wrong. But the whole thing is that Diddy knew what he was doing. So when I was writing my book, and I called myself Sister Soldier, and I was doing different stuff and all that. And Diddy and them had stole my stuff with Kevin Gates and them, and with Snoop Dogg and them, and Kevin Durant. All of them had been stealing my stuff. LeBron James was right there with them, okay, doing a whole bunch of stuff too. And I went blind. When my sight came back fully, because I went through the step of being colorblind and into initial, and all my things were gone. They were gone. My clothes, jewelry, everything. Everything was gone. And so here it is. Then there it was, the year 2004, 2005 came. And I had already, me and him have our daughter, My Kayla Foreman is our daughter. And he loved her dearly. He wanted her. That was not a child that all my children were wanted. It was not a shock that when I got pregnant and when they came into this world. It was not a mistake. Um, but the thing is that so when he found out I was going, my daughter Michaela added stuff to the story, and they kept talking about Nelly. I'm like, Nelly is not Big Nell. Those are two different people, and they are not related to each other. Big Nell is related, of course, to my daughter Michaela, and her big brother is Keywan and Spud, and he got some other kids too. So um, when he ran into Diddy, to what Diddy was doing, Big Nail, he asked him where my stuff was at, because he had been trying to figure out where my stuff was at, and also my husband Usher. Now I'm mad at him about a bunch of stuff, and they doing everything in a demeanor, trying to keep everything calm and this, that, and the other. You know, let's say hello. I am. So anyway, they steady doing stuff, trying to keep stuff at a calmer pace. And Big Nell had ended up getting the papers to get my stuff from P. Diddy. Diddy had no intentions on even trying to give me my stuff. Okay, he had no right to have it in his possession. No way. Um, and that's basically what it had turned out to be. And then my daughter went on and did it. She was in the kindergarten, and over 1 million copies were printed, and it was just, it's just a big thing. And my baby, Michaela, she's very smart. People was not didn't really. When they started talking to her, they was like, "Oh, you did a great." They applauded me for doing a great job with my daughter. And that's her picture in the back of the book. When you look at the book, Sister Soldier, here you go, right here. The coldest winter ever. Now, this is what's going on. This is just one of the books. Um, Let me turn it around and show you. Okay. Now this is the book right here. I had already started on in the 80s. And he gonna put his stuff on there because he Big Neil was like, man, he gonna tell Big Neil, let me just put something on there just to say. But you know, he didn't help write the book. He just wanted to be acting like that, want to be a part of something that he thought he was gonna claim, as his own. You know, I even kept them. Back then, we had food stamps. This is how food stamps looked back then. United States food. You only could buy food with these. This is from the 80s. Yes, from the 80s. It says, series 2000B, but they didn't. This came from the 80s. This is how long has been around. Yep. Well, let me show you in the back of the book. Now, right here, that's my daughter, Michaela. She was in the kindergarten at that time. Her father had put some putty on her nose, made her a fake nose, put a wig on her, and he was just messing with her, trying to make her look a little. My daughter does not live in New York. She was in the kindergarten then. My daughter, Michaela, was in the kindergarten. Let me show you something else. I know this table is very junky. I just. I'm trying to find one more thing before I end this. Yes, I like Laurie's seasoning salts. What is it at? Here we go. But anyway, like I said, Diddy had always had been playing a lot of things, and what I didn't like about it was a friend of his, Mary J. Blige, and I didn't like the fact of how she felt it was okay. Um, how she felt it was okay to disrespect a woman like that. Her only thing was like, didn't it feel? No, I was violated. I was violated. You know. Okay, let me show you something. Okay, you know what? This picture. I don't know why it's cut. This is my daughter, my Kayla. Then, um, she was in the first or second grade. Then, second grade, if I'm not mistaken. We said we was in my truck. This is my Kayla. You can tell the difference when you look in the book. See, she just got putty on her nose right there. Yeah. But that's her. She was in the second grade right here. She's holding her chapstick. Let me show one more picture of her. Oh. Okay, now this is my daughter, Michaela, at preschool age. She was like 3 years old then. Find her. And this is Michaela, her kindergarten graduation at Nelson Mandela Elementary School. There she go, her little self. You can't really see it too good on here, but that's her. And this is her right here. This is her. Yep. She's still not grown yet, but this is her. This is me and Big Neil's daughter. Yep. And she finished writing the book. This is her in the back of the book. Yep. And she finished writing it. And this is my other daughter, Jashira. She's in the military. She graduated out of high school some years ago. Not that long ago, what, 2017? Here she go with her sailor uniform on. But anyway, I'm gonna end it here. I was just letting you know that Diddy was well aware of what he was doing. Then when he found out who I am and all the great things I had brought forth to society and all this type of stuff, he he still wasn't doing right. He still wasn't doing right. He just kept on trying to be conniving, tried to find out if I had any lady friends around me that where he could just try to get over on them, and I don't know. I don't know what his but he has never really been a part of my life. You know, I didn't even really want dealing with him. Yeah, here go my daughter. Here go my daughter, my Kayla again. Yeah. This is my daughter, my Kayla and Jashira at that time when they was at elementary school. So that was around that time. Okay, I'm gonna end it here. I'll talk to you all later. I just want to let you know I don't deal with those other individuals I named in here. I have never dealt with them in so long, and I just make sure that they never come around me ever again. All the theft, all the problems that they caused, it was just so much unnecessary things that did not have to occur. Bottom line, bottom line. But anyway, I'm gonna end it here. Talk to you all later. Bye.